What's good? It's your boy Fannon. All right, man. Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, it is being reported, have agreed to terms on the fight for June 1st, which means that it's a double whammy today. Al Haymon makes a fight with Matchroom. This is the second fight under a 4-fight deal with the PBC and an advisory contract with Al Haymon. And Al Haymon and Eddie Hearn come to agreement on a fight. Hopefully this means that they can also come to an agreement eventually on the Deontay Wilder fight, but we'll see. So I'm going to discuss that and also discuss some other things related to it, give you my thoughts on it. And so let's chop it up. But before I do, I want to invite you to, with open arms, to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of when we release more videos. Also, check out the live streams we do in the mornings and the OG Boxing Talk show with myself, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time in the US, 9 a.m. Central Eastern Standard Time. Also, check out the Patreon. I got some real good stuff being uploaded right now. See, I like when you have an idea about what's going on and then you get a little bump in the road, but then things all seem to right themselves and the world makes sense again. So, just last week, I'm talking to a lot of the fans of the channel, supporters of the channel from the UK. Guys that like the channel because you really like the channel, you like to have good conversations and respect for one another. And also the fans of the channel that like to argue with me, like to make their own videos about my videos and all that good old stuff. You know, the UK fans of the channel or supporters of the channel. Because if you like it or hate it, you watch the videos and we comment and we chop it up with one another. Hey man, you know, that's what boxing's about. That's what boxing talks about. You're not always going to agree on everything. And actually, you're bound to disagree about some things. So last weekend, when the Luis Ortiz fight fell apart, and the Luis Ortiz fell apart, well, I would argue that it was never made. But the PBC comes out looking kind of shady, because it came out that Deontay Wilder was supposed to be, according to Jay Jimenez. Thank you for the people that helped me pronounce that name correctly, Jay Jimenez. Just because he said that Deontay Wilder was in negotiation for Luis Ortiz, there came a bunch of conversations about the PBC not wanting to make fights, blocking fights from fighters from fighting people outside the PBC, having handcuffs on them and all that good stuff, not delivering for their fighters. And just one fight in the second fight. Now, if this is true, now, again, this has to be verified. This is Mike Coppinger. Mike Coppinger of Fox is a boxing contributor or a boxing writer for Fox. Definitely usually gives very good, solid information. So hopefully he's not, left out there swinging in the air on this. And also agree to terms doesn't necessarily mean that the fight is finalized. There might be some other stuff that they got to do. But it looks like right now that it's going to be Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz is a guy that just came over from Top Rank, left Top Rank, came to the PBC because he thought that the PBC would be able to get him some fights. And now, just after if this is the truth, after one fight with the PBC, in his second fight, he's now fighting for the 3 of the major championship belts, the WBA, the WBO, and the WBC, and that is a good thing. Also, from Anthony Joshua's perspective, this is a good fight. Personally, I think Andy Ruiz is as good a fight as Jarrell Big Baby Miller was. I truly believe that. Andy Ruiz, I think, is a very solid fighter. He only has one loss, and I got to go back and look at that Joseph Parker fight again. My recollection is fuzzy on it, but I remember it being a good fight, and I remember a lot of people thinking that Andy Ruiz had actually won that fight. So if he's caliber of a fighter to be able to, have a good fight with Joseph Parker, then hey man, he's definitely good enough, a quality opposition to step in for Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He is, as Mr. Boxing Today 2 described him, an accurate brawler. Describes as, and if you're not familiar with Mr. Boxing Today 2, definitely go subscribe to the channel Mr. Boxing Today 2. He is the foremost YouTube boxing channel that talks specifically about the heavyweight division. And for all the people that hate the LDBC, you can go over there to Mr. Boxing Today because he is not formally aligned with the LDBC. He is just a long-term boxing fan and serious scholar of the heavyweight division. And he's definitely somebody that you're going to like for his no politics involved, straight up and down analysis of the heavyweight division. So for haters of mine and people that like the channel, I definitely suggest that you go over to his channel and subscribe and listen to him talk about this fight when he does his video. I can't wait for him to do it. He described Andy Ruiz as a very accurate brawler, not necessarily the high volume puncher that Jarrell Big Baby Miller is, but he's got fast hands. He's got good power. He's a decent sized heavyweight. I think he's somewhere around 6'3", 6'4". So he's going to be significantly shorter than Anthony Joshua. And, I think he'll be there a good bit for Anthony Joshua to hit. But if Anthony Joshua slips up and lets Andy Ruiz get let a couple loose on his chin, and then, we'll wind up seeing what Anthony Joshua is made of. But straight up and down, no joke. If this fight is made, I'll take that. I think that is a good. I think it's a better fight than a Jarrell Big Baby Miller fight. It's not quite what I wanted to see. I mean, it's not quite the Luis Ortiz fight, but as I said in my videos before, hey man, Luis Ortiz turned that fight down. The second guy didn't play around. He jumped up in there, took that money, took them shots at the belt, and my hat goes off to Andy Ruiz for doing it, and my hat goes off to Al Haymon and Eddie Hearn for making the fight if that fight happens. But, I got to talk about what the heavyweight division needs to be happening. Hopefully that this matchup between a PBC fighter and a matchroom fighter in the heavyweight division will then allow them to have the type of relationship where they can eventually make the Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua fight. And the hurdle would be, and see, this is something else that I think is interesting. Andy Ruiz is able to make this fight because although he is in a multi-fight deal with Al Haymon, he's not locked down into a multi-fight deal with any particular network. Now, I do believe the last fight that he was on Showtime. This one will more than likely, absolutely, not even more than likely, will absolutely be on Dazn. And then for the third one, he could have a fight on Fox. The flexibility that is available is a wonderful thing, man. And that's something also that Deontay Wilder, I don't think gets credit for in him turning down the Dazn contract. Because if we're able to get the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder fight, or Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua, however you want to say it, that fight, the fact that there's flexibility in the US on both Deontay Wilder's and Anthony Joshua's side means that fight can land up pretty much anywhere. Deontay Wilder's not signed to a network. Anthony Joshua's not signed to an exclusive deal with DAZN. I'm not sure what the relationship with the promoter Eddie Hearn is related to having fighters fight on DAZN. I can't speak to that, but I think that the only thing that's really tied down would be the relationship between Anthony Joshua and Sky Sports. So all in all, good deal. I'll take it. I'm looking forward to it. I will actually probably, I got a trial to Dazn because I wanted to support Regis Prograis in his fight for the World Boxing Super Series, which was a great fight. So hopefully my trial will last long enough to where I can get this fight. But if not, man, I might be willing to support Andy Ruiz in his endeavor to get this fight. But to have this fight, but I don't think, obviously, well, for me, I don't know if it's obvious, but for me, Anthony Joshua is a significant favorite, but it can be something where he gets tested against a good fighter. And with that, I'm out. Peace.